John DeLacio here. I got my fishing jacket on. I like this jacket. This is my fishing jacket. I really like this jacket. I've had this jacket forever. I like it. We're not going fishing, but on the screen you're seeing a nice fish that I caught. On our website, we actually have a link called, we have a website, one of our website names says fishingwiththepastor.org. It's fishingwiththepastor.org, heartlandglobal.org, pastorjohndelacio.org, and we're going to be putting a lot more fishing programs on, and I'm going to be doing a lot more fishing after I finish my current assignment. What is my assignment? This was one. Thank you, Jesus. This was one, to get this flash drive. 21 video series, Freedom from the Jezebel Influence. That is now in the works. Now we're ordering them in bulk from professional people that are doing it for us. Now we need to get another order from them. The other goal for this year was to get the website up. The website is now up, but now we want to enhance it. We want to add to it, and we want to add the word I want to use, the outreach for it. All that costs more money. So when we reorder this, it's more money, but it won't be as much as it was originally, because we had to pay for the artwork, we had to do all the groundwork. So the reorders, when we reorder now, it won't be as expensive as it was originally. But it's done. It's a goal set, goal met. Website up, goal set, and goals met. And the other goal is to put pay-per-view on our website also, but we're not quite ready to do that yet, but we're getting there. What is the other goal? The book. Thank you, Jesus. We are finally got some things behind us where I can focus on the manuscript for the book. And now there's going to be a lot more books, and there's going to be a lot more videos on flash drive. But right now, it is available on eBay. And soon, many other outlets. I don't want to get premature, but there's going to be a lot of other outlets also. But right now, it's on eBay. I don't know anybody who don't need this teaching. I don't know anybody who don't need it. In the early 80s, I went through a lot of persecution for mentioning it. Jezebel didn't like it. Ahab didn't like it, because then they had to deal with Jezebel. And then, I think in the mid-80s, people started to realize maybe there's something to this Jezebel thing. And they formed an opinion that they knew what it was. Jezebel is a controlling witch, and she's really strong, and they didn't. That was it. Well, there's 21 teachings on here that tells you there's a lot more to know about the subject. It needs to be taught in business, secular business meetings. It needs to be taught every church needs to hear this teaching. And it is designed, the first video, part 1, gives an introduction about who I am and why you should listen to it. Part 21, then it's personal also. But from 1A to 20, that is 20 videos. No self-promoting, no offerings for us, no talking about how they can find us. It's all designed so that a pastor can show it in his church without feeling intimidated. And if you order it from us, You can put it on Cash App, PayPal, mail a check to the address that we'll give you at the end of the broadcast for $120. 120 is the number of the end of doing things in the flesh, the beginning of doing things in the spirit. And I asked God what kind of an offering we should ask for us to give a gift to, because 45 years of a man's life's in here. I learned a lot by counseling people. I learned a lot by ministering so many different churches. And there's a lot of editing, production, renting rooms. It's a big investment in here. We were asking people years ago, people were giving an offering of $100. Nobody squawked, nobody complained, everybody wanted it, we couldn't make enough of it. People were giving $100 offering for this 12 teaching set here. So $120, very reasonable. I did some home search and I've seen their Bibles, teaching Bibles, commentaries, for a whole lot more. So if you were going to take off work and go to a seminar, to a Bible school online, it's not cheap. So this is a good investment. Good investment. But that's not what I came to tell you today. Actually, I came to tell you it's my birthday. And we're celebrating my birthday every day the rest of my life. But we're recording this, I think, on June 22nd. Is today the 22nd? I think it's 23rd, Sunday the 23rd. But my birthday, Kathy, my birthday falls on the same date every year. June the 26th is my birthday. And many of you are going to get this after my birthday. Have no fear. You could be the first one to sow a birthday seed for my birthday in 2025. But I want to encourage you to get the flash drive. Don't let no dust come on it. Watch one a day. Pencil and pad. Take notes. It will change your life. Guaranteed. I've never said that on anything before. Guaranteed to change your life if you take these principles and apply it to your life. So those of you who have already got it, watch it and apply it to your life. Those of you who did not get it, this would be a good time to sow a birthday seed to God, to this ministry. $120 will get it to you. But also, I want you to put your faith out to join me in the journey that we are in right now, and that's Job Part 2. And here's how that happened. And it was not yesterday, it was quite a few years ago. Myself and some others were going for lunch at a Cracker Barrel in Claremont. I pulled into the parking lot, I parked the car, they got out on the other side of the van, and I got out of the driver's side, and I was walking towards the back of the van. I heard God say, Job Part 2. I know God's voice, but I didn't know what he meant. I said, what does that mean, Lord? He said, you are in Job Part 2. Well, I knew I had been Job Part 1, and it wasn't a lot of fun. We are in a season in our life, Job Part 2. More than double for our trouble. Our latter years shall be greater than the former. Everything that the pain, the hardship, and things that I want to talk about that happened in Job Part 1 season in our life. By the way, Job did nothing wrong, so watch who you judge. Did nothing wrong. He didn't charge God foolishly. Besides the boils and his wife telling him to curse God and die, and now things, beside all the bad things that happened, he did not charge God foolishly, but he found out who his friends were. And when he found out what they were, he told them, they're miserable comforters. You got to go through all that season in your life. But thank God, we are now in Job part 2. The latter years are and shall be greater than the former. Some people don't understand the apostolic, prophetic, pioneering ministry. Those who have an apostolic anointing, you're an entrepreneur. I've had a lot of businesses, an entrepreneur. One of the businesses I was in was restaurants, 2 of them. We had cooks, we had busboys, we had prep people, we had waiter, we had waitresses, and the waiters and waitresses got a salary, but they also earned tips. This was way back years ago. This was a long time ago. I know I look 39, but I'm really older. Don't tell nobody. And tips were a pain in the butt because the waiters and services used to have to get their tips, and they have to declare their tips. Then they would have to pay taxes on their tips. Today, I understand it's a lot different because the employees have to fill out a form and they have to declare the tips, have to be recorded. And this is why I love what Trump wants to do when he's reelected. No tax on gratuities, tax-free. It will be a benefit for these people who deserve a lot of credit for putting up with people. Because their main income they make is through tips and gratuities. And it's a pain keeping a record of it. If I don't declare it, I'm afraid I'll get audited. I don't want to do something. It will save a lot of paperwork, a lot of aggravation, and it will be a way to bless the people who really need it and deserve it. I'm glad he's doing that. So anyway, it's on eBay right now. Soon I'll tell you the rest of the outlets it's going to be on. But eBay has a program, and so do others. I don't pronounce the word right. I'll spell it. Our producer will put their logo on the screen. KLARNA, or Afterpay, or other programs where it's an easy payment program. I know it's tight right now for a lot of people. So if $120 is a little tight for you, you can get it on eBay and get one of their plans, and you'll be able to get it in your hand and start your study now. So that's where we are. If you thank God for my life, and if you think it's been a blessing to you and yours, and by the way, it's changed this ministry. One of our pastor friends, she's probably watching right now, was trying to be kind, and she was telling me about how this ministry changed their whole family. It changed their whole community. It changed their whole region for the better. And I was thinking about that when I got off the phone with her, and I thought, it's done that every place we've went. And it frustrated pastors, actually, because a lot of times when I went to a church to preach, the pastor stopped moving around. A lot of times when I went to a church to preach, the pastors didn't want me to go to another church in that region. They thought, no, when you come to this region, just come to my church. Well, that's what an apostolic ministry is. An apostolic ministry is for the region. Because when I go to places a lot of time and preach, it would draw other pastors. And other pastors would want me to go to their church and minister also. So when you go to a church like that, and many of them rural areas, and I ministered in a lot of churches in rural areas, The largest church I ever preached in had 4 balconies. So I preached in churches that had thousands and thousands of people, and I've preached in churches where they had a small amount of people. But when I would go, and I don't want to give away one of my little methods, but because your friends ever will you, I would look for a skeptic. I would look for a skeptic in the crowd who came to check this guy out. And I would usually call them out first. And once I dealt with the skeptic, then everybody will say, hey, this guy is real, and they would be more open to the word. And there's a skeptic, he's not a skeptic anymore, but he was a skeptic. He put a fleece out to God. He said, God, I don't know about this prophecy stuff, but if Pastor John's a real prophet, I want you to tell him about the Indian stuff on my property. That got his attention. So he's not a skeptic anymore. But that's what I would do. I would look for the tough cookie. The guy's sitting there like this with the attitude, keep looking at his watch. I deal with him, and then the rest are more open to receive. So don't tell nobody I told you that. Because I would tell them, I said, you know, while you're checking me out, God's checking you out. That got their attention real good. Don't be a skeptic. Be a participator. How do you know who to vote for? Well, I can tell you that you should vote. That's why this is here. We're recording this on June 23, 2024. It will be there at least until Christmas, December, because we are putting Christ back in Christmas. We're putting, I'm glad that Louisiana now is putting the 10 Commandments in all the schools. It should be. The 10 Commandments needs to be in the courthouse. It was taken out. Why was God taken out of everything? Because people had a misconception about what the separation of church and state. It was never our framers of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, to take God out of the government. It was designed to protect the church from the government. But because some people believe separation of church and state, I'm going to get in trouble, don't talk about it. I'm going to say this on the next video I do if I could remember. You've heard a lot when you have family time or private time. Don't talk about politics or religion. Not at the dinner table, not at Thanksgiving. You could talk about everything else. Well, I guess I'm in trouble because I'm going to talk about politics and religion because we need to. And I'm going to do a program concerning that when we're done here today. So watch for it. Watch for it. Anyway, I'm kind of like in a mellow mood. I'm celebrating my birthday. And so if you get this, maybe God's speaking to you to support the ministry. You could do it by getting a flash drive or sowing a seed and become a monthly Job Part 2 partner, $42 a month. And it's just, there's nothing magical or spooky spiritual about the number 42. But when you write that check for $42, $420, $1,042, $42,000, whatever it is, you're making a statement of faith. I'm in Job Part 2 also. It's turnaround time for me. Or when you write that check for the $120 or put on Cash App, you're just making that statement. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing things in the flesh no more. It's the end of that. That old man's dead. I'm going to be walking in the Spirit. And you could use your imagination about a lot of teachings on that. But we're out of time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the little bell so you never miss a video that we're sending. And support this ministry. But I'm glad that you asked that question. Was that you who just asked that question? What are you going to do with your birthday gift? I'm going to give it to God. That's what I do at all. I do not like surprises. I do not like surprises. But we are ready to go to the next phase of the ministry. We want to enhance our website that we now have up. We want to increase the people we can reach with it. It takes money. We want to get more of the flash drives on inventory. We want to get the book published, and then we go on from there. So that's some of the things, the offerings that you give will be used to be spreading the gospel. That's really good. If I've been to your town or your church and we received an offering, every dime went to the ministry. I don't remember receiving an offering for Pastor John DeLisio. That's the way God put it. The proceeds from the flash drives, they don't go to John DeLisio Ministry. They go to God through Heartland Christian Center. The royalties on the books, same thing. I'm happy to say that. It will not go to John DeLisio or John DeLisio Ministries or whatever. It go to God through this ministry. So it's going right back to you. You're going to make me mushy. Happy birthday to me. We're going to go out showing you a big fish. All right, thanks for being my friend. It takes a lot of faith to be my friend, but I'm glad that you're still there. We're out of time.